An influential pro-family group in Iowa called the Family Leader is asking the 2012 presidential candidates to sign a marriage pledge. The document includes 14 points on everything from defending traditional marriage to staying faithful to their spouses. Ephraim Graham has the story.
The Family Leader wants all GOP candidates and President Obama to endorse its pledge titled The Marriage Vow. It's a promise to stand for things like the Defense of Marriage Act, something candidate Michelle Bachmann has not shied away from.
I believe that this is such a fundamental issue to our nation, the strengthening of the family and the importance of marriage between a man and a woman, that I will stand for that.
Key points in the conservative pledge include vigorous opposition to redefining marriage, prompt reform of anti-marriage policies and divorce law, and defense of freedom of speech, and the right to stand for faithful heterosexual monogamy. Several of the 2012 GOP candidates have already made their position on marriage clear.
We're united in our belief in the importance and significance of marriage between one man and one woman.
I stand tall and proud for traditional marriage. You can't reopen the definition of marriage. That would not be a good thing. It would be wrong for us to be discussing that.
Bad behavior by politicians like John Edwards, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Anthony Weiner also led plats to include wording on infidelity. If elected, participants pledge personal fidelity to their spouse and respect for the marital bonds of others. But the group says it won't hold past misdeeds against politicians who've admitted their mistakes.
I found that I felt compelled to seek God's forgiveness. Not God's understanding, but God's forgiveness. And that I do believe in a forgiving God.
The vow even includes family-friendly economic policies requiring a, quote, commitment to downsizing the government and the enormous burden upon American families. The group wants candidates to sign the pledge by August 1st. Ephraim Graham, CBN News.
And you can find out more about the marriage pledge from CBN's David Brody by going to his blog, The Brody File, on cbnnews.com. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie has vetoed an attempt to restore funding for Planned Parenthood. Christie says the state simply doesn't have the money. Still, lawmakers tried to restore more than $7.5 million for the abortion provider. Democrats, though, don't have enough votes to override Christie's veto. And one of the two Planned Parenthood affiliates in North Carolina has filed a federal lawsuit over their state's new budget. The budget says Planned Parenthood and its affiliates cannot receive any state or federal funding. The lawsuit is trying to get that measure removed from the budget. A top politician in Egypt says the Holocaust never happened and the 9/11 attacks were, quote, made in America. Ahmed Ez El Arab is a leader of Egypt's top secular party. He made those comments to the Washington Times while attending the Conference on Democracy and Human Rights in Hungary. His party has formed a coalition with the radical Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. Despite all of the health warnings in recent years, America is fatter than ever. A new study finds that America's obesity crisis has increased dramatically over the last 20 years. And it says the epidemic is going to only get worse in the years ahead unless the country makes a dramatic effort to stop it. Operation Blessing is boosting the health and nutrition of people needing help in a Norfolk, Virginia neighborhood. The disaster relief organization is showing residents how to grow their own fruits and vegetables in this community garden. The hydroponics program is called the East Ocean View Community Garden. Hydroponics is a method of gardening that allows people to grow plants using mineral nutrient solutions in water without soil. This also adds to the beauty of the neighborhood by turning a vacant lot into a community garden. Beautiful. And in Peru, Operation Blessing is working with more than 100 families to raise their standard of living. OB's Healthy School Project is supplying students with backpacks and school supplies. They're also creating a learning center where students can play educational games and participate in art classes and extracurricular activities. Operation Blessing is also working with adults and teens to help them find jobs, and participants are trained in areas of electricity, masonry, carpentry, and plumbing. You can find out more about Operation Blessing by going to its website at ob.org.